everybody, and welcome back to another Hookster Talks. Yes, we are back. It's me and Mr. TB the Bear. Yes, look at him, the bestest bear on the planet. In fact, the only bear you'll see on YouTube. Well, the way I play with him anyway. Yes. Hello, you big, beautiful, sexy bear. I love my bear, and my bear loves me. Don't you, Mr. TB? Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome back. Of course, we've got to bring on the other one as well, because, you know, we don't want him to feel left out. Here he is, everyone. It's Baby Groogoo. Yes, not the most popular, but here he is anyway. Hello, Baby Groogoo. How have you been this week? All right? You've been using the false much? You have? Oh, good. Could you sort of go downstairs and do the washing up then? Could you? Yeah? Good boy. Good boy. Well done. I got him well trained. Anyway, hello everyone. Yes, it's me, back again. And late again. That's usual. That's usual for me. Let's go to the tablet. See if there's any lovely people out there. Probably not. Probably not. Now, before I start all the usual shenanigans, of course, this weekend we have the Spanish Grand Prix. And I'm hearing, let me just adjust my little stand here thing. Thank you. Hello, Mr. JW97. He said, Dave, put that chest away. There are kids watching. I know. I'm sorry. I apologise if there are any children watching. All I will say in my defence, though, is that before I start this stream, you get a little message up that says, is this content suitable for children? And I always tick no. No, it's definitely not suitable for children. No, you have to be of a certain age. Even though the demographic for my YouTube channel, I don't know why, I've no idea why. Most popular between 16 and 24 years old. Yeah, that's the most popular. Do you know what? Nobody of my age watches my channel. 1% of people over 50 watch my channel. It's just crazy. That's just where are you all? Are you all sitting there in your fuddy-duddy slippers watching Antiques Roadshow or whatever? Come and join me. I'm sure we can have more fun than that, surely. But no, yes, 1%, only 1% of people over 50 watch my channel. But pretty much I think it's 95% of my demographic is 16 to 24-year-olds. And I've got no idea why I would appeal to that demographic. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. Is it because I'm basically just a complete idiot? Good. That's what we need. More idiots in this world. More idiots. And that's me. That's me. Just JMO says, sport on Sunday has gone downhill. I agree with you, Jamie. I agree with you. It has gone downhill. Green Red Bull, Dave. Sorry, Acid Lawrence Stroll. Scott says, hi, Dave. Hope you're having a good... Thank you, Scott. Yep, doing very well. Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. This could end up as a very special show this week. Or it could end up as the usual Dave disaster. I don't know. Anyway, let's go and do my bit first before we get into that. So the title of the video is Spain going to be any good? Well, I've just been watching reading the news networks about Formula 1 at the moment. And apparently everybody and their son is testing at Spain right now. Yes, it's ridiculous. Everyone is testing for some unknown reason. I mean, it is, of course, a testing circuit, so that would explain it. But yeah, everyone's testing. Now, here's one thing. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm going to. But I never thought I would ever say this. I hope Mercedes come back to the front. I hope they sort out their problems and come back to the front. I've said it. I've said it. I'm not taking it back. Do you know why? Nothing to do with Lewis Hamilton or George Russell. I just want a 6-car fight for the championship. Yes, I said in my last video, I just can't get into this Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen thing. It's not doing it for me. It's not pushing my boat out. I'd like to see the Mercedes up there as well. Yeah, just for Lulu to keep getting beaten basically. But I'd like to see him there. So I hope that the Mercedes, I don't think they will be. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, But are they going to bring their old car back? Who knows? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. So yeah, that should be interesting. Now also, of course, in other news that you've probably already heard about because it's been everywhere, is that the Russian Grand Prix is not going to be replaced. So there will be only 22 rounds this season. I think that is a good decision because there was far too many rounds on the calendar anyway. When I read about that, I actually looked at the calendar for 2022. There's 4 races in July. 4 races before the big summer break, of course, but 4 races. So there's one every single week. It's a, what's that called? Quadruple header? Quadruple header. Have we ever had that in Formula One? I can't remember. I don't think I know we've had 3. We had quite a few during COVID, but have we had 4 back to back? I don't know. Now, admittedly, they are very close together. You've got Silverstone, you've got France, you've got Austria, and then the last one is in Hungary. So they're all, pretty much in the scope of Europe. So they haven't got that far to go, which is a good job because, they're going to finish on the Sunday and they've got to be at the next track by the following Thursday to set up all their equipment and that. So they haven't got long. So yeah, it's been a lot that they all are pretty close together. Of course, they'll start at Silverstone. They'll get over to France. I mean, that would be a piece of piss. It'll only take a day to get to France. So, that would be no problem. They'll probably even stay at Silverstone because, of course, a lot of the teams are based there. They'll probably stay at Silverstone until possibly the Wednesday before they go out to France. But then from France, of course, they've then got to move on to Austria, which is a little bit more distance, but not too bad. And, of course, the final of the 4 races is going to be in Hungary, of course, which is, once again, not too bad. A little bit more distance, but should be quite good. But, yeah, the poor team mechanics, of course, the lifeblood of Formula One that everyone seems to forget about. It's just like, just get on with your job. And as some of the sort of Ferrari managers, I can't remember who it was that said that, well, if you don't like it, you can always leave, which is great, just absolutely great to empower your employees and get you motivated. And, if you don't like it, just leave. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Can't remember who that was. I heard it was Ferrari, but probably one of the senior managers because that's what they're like. Yeah. You know what Ferrari's like, everyone? Yes, they destroyed Sebastian Vettel, don't forget. He's a pale imitation of what he used to be. Yeah. And they'll do exactly the same to Charles Leclerc. Yes. They're already doing it to Carlos Sainz because, a few mistakes. And, shall we get rid of him? I've also heard rumours. This is the best rumour I've ever heard. I've heard rumours that Lewis Hamilton could be joining Ferrari next year. That's a great rumour. Of course, it's not true. It's never going to happen. But yeah, people have been posted on Twitter, sort of, with him in the Ferrari livery. Yes, dressed up in the Ferrari suit. That's not going to happen. That's not Lulu. I mean, he might like to go there, but I can't see he's going to see out his final years at Ferrari. Can't see it. But that's a nice little sort of joke, really, because it's never going to happen. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be around that long enough to go anywhere else, to be honest, but we will see. So Spain, the rain in Spain falls mainly on Dave's head. Yes, because there's nothing to stop it. And because it's a testing track, it's pretty predictable that it's going to be quite boring. Yes, quite boring. Unfortunately, it always is at Spain. I haven't seen a good Spain race for decades. I mean, it's been there a long time, hasn't it? But decades have I seen a good Spain race. So yeah, unfortunately, we won't hold our hopes out. But we may just get something that may make it special. Like a safety car or an incident, something like that might be able to elevate. Or it might rain in, of course. Don't forget the rain. We don't want all that rain like we had in Spa last year, though. No, we don't want that sort of rain. That's a ridiculous amount of rain. But just a bit of rain, that would spice it up a little bit. But yeah, Spain will, of course, be very, very boring indeed. Oh, we got lots of comments here. Lots of comments. Well, I've been nattering away. JW9 meant to say someone not sorry. That's all right, Jay. I did get the gist of what you're on about. Yeah. Don't forget, I read YouTube comments, and some of those comments. Oh my God. Yeah. You need to be a sort of scientist that works for the government to work out some of the things they say to you. It's like, What? What? You're reading it, and then you have to read it back to yourself, and then you have to read it back to yourself again, and you're like, "No, what? Eh? What? 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 What?" So yeah, don't worry. I got the gist of what you're on about. All good. David Disaster. What Hookster talks is great. That's true. That's true. Filming day. Gotcha. Mr. Poochie Head. Hello, sir. Welcome to the stream. Wow, no, never. Max, a triple header. Not quite. There was a week break in between Austria and France. Is there really? I thought there was 4 in one go. Wow. Well, I don't apologise for that. I must have been looking at one of those dodgy websites that definitely had 4 races in 4 weeks. So I retract that comment, but it wasn't my fault. I don't even think I was looking at the official calendar. I don't know. I might have been, but it might have been one of those, dodgy ones. But I'm sure it said 4 in one go. Anyway, so there you go. Almost a 4-header. But there's a week gap now between Austria and France. There you go. Scott Barnes says, to be honest, the no race to replace Russia is great for the team personnel. Yes, it is. Yeah, give them at least 7, well, it's not even 7 days, is it? But 5 days rest. That should be a little help. I think 23 is far too many anyway. Well, I think 22 is far too many, to be honest. I think a nice round 20 is a good figure. Personally, I would prefer something like the old days of 17. I think 17 rounds is pretty much spot on for a Formula 1 season. But of course, that's never going to happen now. But so I think 20 should be the sweet spot for Formula 1. Yes, 20 rounds. I did notice, though, the calendar is finishing at a reasonable time, or so I say, a reasonable sort of time of the year this year, because of course last year with everything going on, it was very late, wasn't it? But yeah, I think we are finishing in November this year, so that's good. Will F1 says Austria is before France, Dave. Is it? Wow. I must bring up that website I was looking at then, because that was totally wrong. I can't remember what I was looking at, but yeah. Okay, I apologise for that, but I wasn't saying that out of my arse. I was actually looking at this website, so they must have got it wrong themselves. Which happens a lot on websites. Yes, it does. Poochie Head. Okay, it's 2 double headers with a week break in between. Thank you, Mr. Poochie Head. Right, we got it now. We got it. Also, there's a rumour that Singapore will be pushed forward a week as a result of Russia not being replaced, meaning there will be a break in between Singapore and Japan. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that would work as well. Will F1 says Austria is the 10th of July, France is the 24th of July. Thank you for the clarification. I'm going to go on that website and I'm going to leave a comment and say, "Oi, you clowns, sort your thing out." Yes. I'll go to the official one next time. It's only because I was reading the link that I went to this calendar website, which wasn't, I don't think, the official one, and yeah, they definitely got that wrong, so I apologise for that. But as I say, I wasn't saying that off the bat, it was what I was reading. It was Franz Tost Franz Tost, oh yes, the old what's it called now, AlphaTauri man. Yes, the old ex-Toro Rosso team principal at AlphaTauri. Yeah, oh, it was him, was it? Oh, well done, Franz. Well done indeed. If you want to motivate your personnel, just tell them, well, if you don't like it, just bugger off. Lewis won't go to Ferrari. Charles has a 1 million year deal till 2024 in real terms, and Carlos also till 2024. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a nice little fantasy that I saw on Twitter that people were saying about. I say it's never going to happen, but yeah, contracts I would have thought for both the Ferrari drivers must be pretty much set in contract in concrete for a couple of years, I would have thought, because they're not going to let them go, are they? And you want to get your man signed on the dotted line, because you don't want another team to come along and poach them. So yeah, I would have thought up until 2024 would be what they were signed for. So yeah, Lewis, as I say, he's going to finish out his career at Mercedes. That's obvious. He's not going to go anywhere else. 20th of November it finishes this year. Reason why is due to the World Cup in... Oh, right, okay. Gotcha. World Cup in Qatar. Or however you say it. I don't know. 17 to 21 races is a solid amount Anything more is too far. Yeah, I agree with you, Scott. Yeah, 17 to 21. Plynor Plessy says Spain will be another boring race. We'll probably stop watching halfway through as it's on during the football. Well, yes, I think you would do then. With a name like Plynor Plessy, you certainly would. Speaking of I can't say that word. Is it Qatar? Cute, something like that. It looks like when F1 returns there next year, it looks like it will once again be at La Salle as the circuit is having an upgrade, meaning the street circuit rumours can be put to bed. Good. We don't want any more street circuits. It's ridiculous. Bloody Formula 1's just turned into Formula E, isn't it, basically? Yeah. Well, we know. I don't think it's going to happen for a few years, but I reckon 2027, maybe 2030, I can see Formula E and Formula 1 being combined together. I think that's what's going to happen. You can see it because there's elements of Formula E now drifting into Formula 1. They're going to combine together. Yeah, you can see it's going to happen. That'll be a very sad day. It'll be a very sad day as well if Formula 1 went completely electric. In fact, I would then stop watching because that is not what I watch Formula 1 for. So if it continues as it is as a hybrid, that's fair enough. But if it went fully electric, just like Formula E, I wouldn't bother with it anymore because as I say, that it's supposed to be the pinnacle of motorsport. It's not supposed to be 20 whatever milk floats going around the track. That's not Formula 1 for me, so I would stop. But I just got a sad feeling that that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Anyway, so that's all the motorsport news. There's a tiny little bit about Codemasters, which I did happen to have a look at and see, and that is that Codemasters, one of their studios, has merged with Criterion Games. Yes, so they've all merged together now, and they're all just one studio, and it's all called Criterion now. Yes, that doesn't affect the F1 games. Codemasters have a base in Birmingham. They make the F1 games, and that will still continue. But half of the team of Codemasters has now merged with Criterion. And of course, this I mentioned about a year ago now in my video, and I said that eventually all of Codemasters will be absorbed into the EA brand, and the Codemasters name will disappear. Well, half of it has already disappeared. Half of the Codemasters name has already disappeared because it's going to be called Criterion Games only, even though it will have ex-Codemasters employees working there. So that's half the name gone. There's only half of Codemasters left now already, and EA have had the license and the studio and Codemasters name for, just over a year? So you can see it's going to head in that direction. 2024, I guarantee you, maybe 2025, but I'm going to say 2024. I guarantee you on the box for F124, it will not say, there won't be anything in regards to Codemasters on it. It'll just say EA, whatever. That's what's going to happen. We can see it's going to happen, and that is what will happen. And that will be a very sad day that the Codemasters name completely disappears, because it's a name that's I'm very fond of in my heart, because I started buying some of the very early Codemasters games when they were... I bought Dizzy, if anyone remembers that. That was on one of the very old consoles. I think it was the Commodore 64. It was Dizzy, yeah. It was just a little sprite that you... Yeah, I bought that game. That was one of the very early Codemasters games. And so I'd be very sad when they actually disappear. And of course, then I graduated to the racing games. Toka Touring Car was just magical. The first Toka Touring Car game was just absolutely magical. And when you think made by about, I don't know, 6 people, compared to what they do now with games, it's like 500,000 people studios, isn't it? 6 people made that game. It still stands up today. Yeah, of course, it's old, it's creaky, it wobbles a lot, but that game still stands up today, as to be said. So there you go. So it will be a very, very sad time indeed. Scott says, I've been watching races of the 2007 and 2008 on video Daily Motion. The Nico Rosberg interview, I mean the car. Oh, yes. We loved that year, didn't we? 2007 and 2008. I'm watching 2011 at the moment. Yeah, 2011. I almost finished it. What I do is I watch once the real season finishes, I watch the season from 10 years ago. That's what I constantly keep doing that. So like I've been watching 2011 after 2021 finished. Yeah. Now, this is a reflection of how many races there are now in Formula One. Because when I used to do it, I'd get through the whole of the season and still have a few weeks left before the actual season, next season started on Formula One. Now I get about 3/4 of the way through the season and the next season of F1's already started. So that just tells you now how many races there is every single year. So yeah, the gap has shrunk right down now, right down. Okay, so as I said earlier, this could be amazing or it could be a disaster. We will find out. Now I happen to know that there is a certain Canadian right now who is at a certain American's house. So there's 2 for the price of 1 if we ring them. Now, if we do ring them, the other thing I want to do is, because I've been doing this every single week, is I want to ring Nick, who I've said about. He's in our league and he's the real deal. He raced karts with Maxi Boy Verstappen, Lance Stroll and whatever. So it'd be a fascinating. But he's never spoken. No, he comes into our leagues. He's always got his mic on, but But the only person he's ever spoken to is me. I've spoken to him for it's well over an hour in a party chat. Yes. So it would be a real coup if we can get him on the show. And of course, the fact that he's free, unlike However, would be another bonus as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ring the potted plant first and see if he's there. And I'm going to cut him off and see if we can all come in together while I ring Nick live. Because if Nick answers, the plant pot's head will explode. It'll boom. It'll go. It really will. So we'll do that and see what happens. So let's switch myself off the moment. Deactivate. It's okay. I know you can still hear me. I do test these things sometimes. So let's see if with these eyes are here. I'm going to ring him directly. And this should be good. This should be good. Do apologise. I've got to clean my glasses. While I'm... Oh, now I can't see what I'm doing. That's not... That you didn't think that through, did you, Dave? Press the button first. Yeah. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing anyway because I've got the camera off. Never mind. I'm cleaning my glasses. But I just suddenly realised I need to see through them as well while I'm pressing buttons. Right, that's the glasses cleaned. Forgive me for a minute because Facebook is... being very slow. Let's read the... Is that the DVDs with Ben Edwards on the full races with 2011 with DC and Martin Brundle? No, I just... I used to record them, Scott, back in the day. I used to have a DVD recorder. Oh my God, those are the days. And I used to record all the races, and so I've still got them. I've missed a few, but I've got pretty much every single race from 1994, I do believe. Yes. I used to have them on VHS, but I transferred them to DVD, so they're all on DVD now. From about 90, I've missed a few races. I missed about 4 races in 1998, unfortunately, because I was in hospital for a month. So yeah, I was desperate to try and record the races. So what I did was, before I went into hospital, because I didn't know I was going to hospital, it was like a very quick visit, like, and I ended up in there for a month. So what I did was, before I left, because I think back in them days we were still doing video recorders, I just stuck a video in it and just set it up to record. But of course, back in those days, you couldn't record more than about 2 weeks in advance because, you know, the timers didn't work that well. So I just recorded 2 F1 races, set them up on the timer, and then I went into hospital. I was literally doing that, trying to set it up while the taxi was outside, going, come on, I'm due to pick you up. I'm going, wait a minute, trying to program this. Anyway, a month later, I came out of hospital and it had recorded those 2 races. But unfortunately, there was 2 more after that and I missed them because I was still in hospital. But yeah, there you go. There's a little story for you tonight. But yeah, all the rest I've recorded. I still record them now, in fact. Yes. I still record even the latest ones. Oh, here we go. Facebook's decided to... Right, so we're going to see... This is just an experiment to see whether he's about. La 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 la. Got to put my headphones on because I can't hear anyone. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's cut that off because I can't hear. I can't hear the sound. Let's have a look and see if it's coming in now. Here we go. We have to do it twice for some unknown reason. Right, here we go. Beep. Come on, Planty Pot. He said he wanted to be on the show last week and he didn't turn up. And he said this week he definitely wants to be on the show. And I bet you he still won't turn up. Come on, Plant Pot. It's going well on Hookster Talks again. It's going well. Unbelievable. Okay, let's try the Canadian and see if he answers. I don't know why I just started singing Tetris music, but I just did. Come on, Canadian. They're probably both sitting there, you know, going, nah, not going to answer it. Not going to answer it. Nah, it's only Hookster. Not going to bother. He's probably cooking his chicken again, you know. That chicken he has to chase around the room first and then he batters it round the head with a mallet and chucks it on a tray and then just puts it in the oven. Yeah, he doesn't even get the feathers off. He just whacks it straight in because it's Canadian. Yeah, that's what they do in Canada. Apparently. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Right, here we go then. Attempt number... Let's have a look and see how many video calls he's missed. 1, 2, 3. Right, attempt number 4. For Nick. Yes, for Nick. Let's see if this works. I'll literally fall off my chair if he answers. I will literally fall off this chair if he picks this up. I will. Honestly, I will fall off this chair. One day we'll get him on. Guarantee you, one day. But not today. The little monkey. I swear he's there, you know. He's just, nah, it's Hookster. I'm not going to pick it up. Not going to pick it up. It's Hookster. That's what he's doing. I bet he's doing that every single week now as well. He's laughing at me, saying, no, no. Right. We'll have to do Plan C in a moment. We'll do Plan C in a moment. Let's just look at the messages before I do Plan C. We've got best of luck phoning Nick. Yeah, I did, Scott, but it didn't work. I actually have recording devices in my house, as my uncle used to have a DVD recorder when I was a kid. He used to record F1, MotoGP, BTCC, WR. Oh my God, all the best sports I used to record as well. Yeah, apart from the MotoGP, I've never got into that, but yeah, the BTCC and the WRC, I used to do all of that. I used to watch the one on Channel 4 with, what was his name? Who was that bloke who used to keep taking the piss out of Colin McRae? Was it Robbie Head? Was it Robbie Head in the commentary? Oh, he's crashed again. Oh, look, he's crashed again. Oh, he's useless. He's useless, this Colin McRae, isn't he? He didn't actually say it like that, but, you know, so what he was trying to say. In fact, during lockdown in 2020, specifically when everything was on hold, I actually broke out those old DVDs and watched some of them. Triggered some... Yeah, I know, a lot of people did, didn't they? A lot of people did. Yeah, yeah. I actually, I don't know if I should admit this on stream, but during lockdown, I actually dug out the complete Knight Rider collection and I watched them during lockdown. Yes, you remember Knight Rider? Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Is that the Canadian? It's the Canadian! Ignoring the celebrity. I know, it is unbelievable. Fall Off My Chair, episode 41 of the All Season. Yes, we know, the famous episode. Hangs up. Fair play for trying it. I will try him every single week. Yeah, Robbie Head, his best mate from school. Yeah, yeah. Wasn't very complimentary about him in the end though, was he? BTCC with Ben Edwards and Tim Harvey. Oh yes, absolutely. They were great. Okay then. So, we've had Plan A, we've had Plan B, now we've got to go to Plan C. We'll just put the general chat and see who turns up. First of all, of course, I've got to get rid of lots of people, because we've got to take it down to 8 people. So we'll get rid of those, because a lot of them aren't even active in the group. And that one, and that one. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we got 10. I've got to lose 2 of you, I'm afraid. I'm afraid we've got to lose 2 of you. That one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't matter because I can join at any time, anyone else anyway. But I'm just like calling the first 8 and see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. We've got to get rid of one more. I'm sorry, everyone. Okay. Right, okay. Is Joseph on there? Yes. Then Dominic Orlando. Right, here we go. If no one turns up now, I'm going. I'm off. I'm out of here. There we go. There. What's the betting? It's Donald. What's the betting? Donald's the first one that picks up. What's the betting? Come on, place your bets, everyone. Place your bets. Oh, I can take my headphones off now because I can hear them through the speakers. Let's turn the volume up. Hello?
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 Oh, this fucking guy. Hey, Dave.
Hi.
Oh, you actually made it this week, Don.
Hey, Don.
We know where you are, Don, so it's no good pretending. Yeah, you're with the plant
Okay.
pot. What's he stuck you in the
Yeah.
basement? Is he stuck you
Hey,
in
you
the?
remember Joe's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he stuck you in the room with all the steering wheels? What the fuck's that? Oh no, that's too much for YouTube. Get it off.
Where is the plantster?
I don't know. I don't know if everybody's taking a nap or not. I gotta go check. I actually woke up from mine now.
Taking a nap? It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, isn't it, in America?
So
Right.
so Dave, I was driving overnight, so I left the house at 8:30 p.m. last night, and I arrived at like 4:30 a.m. So Dommy's a little bit sleepy.
I see. I just did
Yeah.
I just did a live call on Nick, but he didn't answer again. But I'm gonna try every week. I'm gonna get him.
Oh God.
I was hoping that you were all gonna be there when it happened, but unfortunately he didn't. But there you go.
Does
Do you-
Joe
do you-
not like you or something to lock you in a room?
It looks like it,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
and
That's
I've
definitely
been-
like the storage cupboard, isn't it, in his house? That's his storage cupboard. He's just chucked you in there, hasn't he?
yeah,
Stick him in
that's
there.
where he keeps his extra boxes.
I know. Extra boxes and extra DOMs.
You didn't bring your own
Yeah.
TV, did you?
No. I brought my PS5, but I didn't bring my.
I
I
saw
didn't
it.
bring like my steering wheel or anything else like that.
Are you staying up? You gonna be doing the league race from his house on Monday?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, you'll finally have decent internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Dom should give us a tour of the plant household.
Yeah. As soon as I get some pants on, yeah, I'll.
Yeah,
I'll
go wake him
definitely
up
do
and
that.
tell him we're live on Hookster Talks. We can't have none of this sleeping during the day. Get on with it.
All right. Can I call you guys back in like 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, you can just come back in the chat again, can't you?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
the chat's
Okay.
open, so just come back
Great.
in.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
I
then.
will return in 5 minutes.
Good. Make sure
We're
you do.
counting. You said 5 minutes, Dave.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna time that. What's the time now? Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
5:01.
10 o'clock in the UK. So there you go. 5 minutes.
Because I don't know the second. I will give him until 5:07. So
5:07.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be like 5.5.
Yeah. He better come back. Unbelievable. Sleeping during the Hookster Talks. That's just not on, is it? Just not on.
You woke him up.
I know. Woke him up at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, I've been driving all night. How far is it from Canada to US, for God's sake? It's only a couple of hours, isn't it? What is it? Hour and a half?
I don't know.
Nah,
I don't
it's-
know how
He says it's
long
8.
it is for him to.
Yeah, he says it's 8 hours, but I think he's just, he makes that things up in his head. I'm sure it's not 8 hours. About an hour and a half. If that. It's probably only 20 minutes to get there. I mean, it's Canada to US. They're right next door to each other, aren't they? Can't take that long, surely. 8 hours. Mind you, he's driving a Honda Civic, so, that does drop his top speed down quite a lot. So it could be 8 hours. Normal person, though, 20 minutes, job done.
When Dom says something timelines, it's always double. If it
Oh,
should
yeah.
take you 4 hours,
Absolutely.
we go on. It's on Dom time.
Dom
It's
time.
Dom's time, not.
Yep.
Ready for Spain this weekend?
I am ready for Spain. I think it's going to be boring. Are you ready for the big Mercedes comeback, though? That's the question.
I don't really have much hope, to be honest.
I actually said earlier, and I can't believe I said it, but I did, and I said I hope Mercedes come back. Do you know why? Because I also said this last week. I'm not getting the whole Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen thing. It's not doing it for me, you know. I just want Mercedes there for a 6-car battle. That's what I want. I don't want to see it just being between Ferrari and Red Bull. I want to see Mercedes in there as well. So I'm hoping they come back. As you say, I don't think they will, but I'm hoping just to add a bit of spice in the mix.
About one of the upgrades I think I read something about is Mercedes is coming with a whole new rear wing.
Yeah. They did say they might bring the old car back. I don't know whether we'll know if it's the old car because it'll have proper side pods on it. So, but I don't know. That might just be a pipe dream.
I didn't hear about, and the only thing that was about that was like, yeah, I hope they bring the side pods back because like obviously with the side pods, yeah, it might hurt straightaway speed, but you're hurting it just as bad with how bad the bouncing is in that car.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. But we will find out.
And yeah, because they're all bouncing, but Mercedes is by far the worst. It's not even close. If you look at the Ferrari, Red Bull, look how much they bounce compared to the Mercedes. It's not even close.
It's all about all of them bounce, but it's whether they can keep it under control. And Ferrari has definitely got the porpoising under control, which is not something that Mercedes have. The Mercedes bouncing is actually to the detriment of their top speed, and that's a problem. If you haven't got the top speed, then you're not fast enough, are you? And that is the thing. But Ferrari
and Russell's even saying because of how bad the Merc's bouncing, it's like bothering his back and
yeah. Anyway, just going to the chat for a minute. Mr. Poochiehead says, rank every F1 game developer you know from best to worst. Oh my god. Really?
Well, Dave, this one's solely on you, only because I didn't get to in the F1 really just until basically right before Hamilton came aboard.
Yeah.
Like I got in the F1 crowd late. And then you're talking about the first F1 game I've actually played was 2010, and that was Codemasters.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, PS3. What was that? PS3 F1's Champions Edition or something?
Oh, F1 Championship Edition. Yeah.
Like the first one on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first one I've.
That was a great game.
Exactly.
That was Studio Liverpool. So you've played another game apart from Codemasters.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember who made that. Think it back in time. I have it somewhere in my PS3 pile.
Okay, thank you.
It's just been so long ago.
I know. Thank you, sir. So I will answer the questions. So Don, just talk to yourself for a minute. So I'm going to go as the top studio, Bizarre Creations, only because they did F1 97, which in most people's estimation, including mine, is the best F1 game ever made. Even though it's very, very old and dated now, still absolute cracker to drive on. So I'm going to say Bizarre at the top. Second, I would say Studio Liverpool for, as Donald said, F1 Championship Edition, because that was also a great game. Great game. Third, now little bit blurred here because we got Visual Science, who obviously they did some of the F1 games, or EA. I certainly wouldn't rank EA very highly, but some of those early games were good. So I'm going to say, yeah, it's right, Mr. Pucci. I know there's been a lot of developers, don't worry. A lot of F1 developers. You got IDOS was in there as well, and Lancor. They also made PlayStation F1 games, so don't worry about it. I'm just going to go on the ones that you said, actually. So, yeah, so that's 1 and 2, Studio Liverpool. For the third one, I am going to say EA, basically for F1 2000, which was the best F1 game that EA have ever produced, to be honest, on the PS1 anyway. So I'm going to say that. And that was made by Visual Sciences, which also made F1 98, which is a complete disaster. But, you know, there you go. We'll brush over that. And so I'm then going to say Codemasters as number 4. Because Codemasters F1 2010 was their best F1 game, as to be said, in most people's opinions. But ever since then, as the years have gone on, it's definitely degrading quality. Now, some of them are okay. We all think F1 2020 is a good F1 game, and we still use it in our league. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that game. It's just, it's not as good as F1 2010. That's all you can say. Even though, of course, if you go back now to F1 2010, you'll probably think, wow, why am I so impressed with this? Because the handling is very, very difficult. If you remember, even with full traction control, you could still spin the car out on the corners. You have to be very, very careful with that game.
Yeah.
So yeah, you probably look back at that game now and think, oh, I don't know why I'm saying this is so good. But at the time, it was the best F1 game, definitely. So there you go.
No disagreements there.
There you go. So I think hopefully I've answered that question for you. As I said, yeah, there was loads of developers. There was one out in Canada that did an F1 game as well, which I can't remember the name of, but there was just tons of them, and especially like 99 and 2000, the FIA actually released the license, and it was open to a lot more people to produce F1 games, and there was just a flood of them from every direction. But we'll gloss over them because they weren't very good. No, they weren't very good at all. But yeah, I think I've answered that question. There you go, Dom. It's now 10 minutes past. He's 5 minutes late already. As we said.
And Dave, going back to when you were talking about EA.
EA, yeah.
I actually got kind of hopeful for the new F1 2022, only because I'm going back by like NASCAR for a game for a reference. When EA did NASCAR, I thought that they were fantastic when EA did them.
Right.
If they kind of not been as good when they got new developers.
Okay.
And this new NASCAR game is absolutely the worst, Ignition. But so if I race, I usually tend to go back to NASCAR Heat 5. But overall, I have, for racing games, I kind of feel confident with EA.
Oh,
I mean, not their other games, but
yeah, I can't comment on the NASCAR games because I've never played them. I have heard though that the Ignition one is the same developer that's going to be bringing out this British touring car game as well, which is a bit debatable when it's actually going to come out, but hopefully this year. So I haven't got very high hopes for that if that's done by the Ignition guys, because I've heard that Ignition isn't very good.
No, it had potential, but
yeah,
but no, I kind of I'm hopeful for EA, like just by going when they made NASCAR and stuff. If they do it for online and stuff like that, I think F1 22 can be really good.
Right. Mr. Poochie Head says EA's NASCAR Thunder 4, I believe. Was that a good one?
I like them all. I think the one I would have to go. Oh, they were all Thunder 04. You said NASCAR Thunder 04?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a real good one. 06 Total Team Control was another one. I really even like NASCAR 09. That was probably my most played one, to be honest with you.
Nice.
Yeah,
I did hear. I did hear that a lot of those earlier games were. You know Jeff, don't you? In our group here. Yeah, he raves about those earlier NASCAR games. He had a league on one of those. It might have been one of the NASCAR Thunder ones. He had a league on that for PS, and he had that going, years after the game had finished, because I think the game after that wasn't very good, so he just carried on this one. So yeah, a bit like us in the ERL.
Yeah. But I thought EA did a pretty damn good job with NASCAR when they did that. So hopefully they do the same for F1.
Well, I bow down to your superior knowledge because, as I say, I've never played them, so I can't sort of comment on whether they're good or not. So, yeah. We will see. We will see. I just hope it's a playable game that we can use in the league, because I don't want to go back to 2020 for another season. Do you? Really?
No, really. I'm
No.
done with 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way, I kind of wish we went to 2021, but
2021 had serious problems in the handling department. It was actually me that sort of said to Joe that we can't really do this, because the problem is you've got people in the league of all different skill levels, and I'm not trying to put Randy down, but you know, Randy is of a skill level that I felt wouldn't get on with 2021 because of the fact that it's, you know, you've got the curbs that will spin you out very, very easily, and I thought the frustration factor would come in to 2021. So that's,
yeah,
you know,
I noticed that. That's one thing about 2021. Like, you can run the same exact line,
yes.
just say 5 laps in a row.
Yes.
You can hit the curb the exact same and everything, but one of those 5 times you'll spin out. Like,
exactly.
It's inconsistent with the curbing. Yeah, I will say that. But
yeah, very inconsistent. And of course, you know, if you're in a league race situation, you don't want that frustration, because if that happened to you every single race, you just get fed up and wouldn't go doing the race every Monday night, would you? You'd say, no, I can't be bothered, because you know that every single race at some point you're going to spin out. So you'd say, no. That's why we stuck with 2020, because it's a solid foundation. It's a solid handling model as well, and you pretty much know exactly what to expect. You don't get very many surprises on 2020 in the handling department. You know exactly how the car behaves, because, you know, so that's why we didn't really go with 2021. But I'm hoping that this one's better. The only trouble, of course, is if it was built on the foundations of 2021, it might not be. So yeah, that's something to look out for.
Because like 2021, it was like no traction whatsoever in the rain. It was like rain was real tricky in 2020.
Terrible. I didn't like the way they reversed the wing angles round as well, because I couldn't see the sense in that, where the rear wing is actually lower than the front wing, because in all the other F1 games it's been in reverse, where you always had the front wing lower.
Yeah.
I couldn't work that out, so I did do a lot of experimenting, and I tried to do the races as in 2020, you know. So I run it with the front wing low and the rear. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. So they definitely altered the physics in that department that you can't do it. You really can't. So, but I don't know why they reversed it, because in real life they didn't make a fundamental change like that. So I don't know why they did it. And now, of course, they've made another change in F1 22 regarding the wings. And that is the wings now go from 0 to 50 instead of 0 to 11. Okay?
Yeah.
But, oh yeah, here's the thing. The values are exactly the same as last year's. So 50 wing, yeah, is the same as 11 from last year. So I don't know why they've done that either. So basically,
but as long as they got it right, as long as they got the setup with from front to rear wing, all right, I can live with the more numbers.
Yeah, they've just done it in an increment of 50, so that you've got, you know, you can make tiny. Whereas 1 to 11, you've only got 1 to 11 you can adjust. Whereas 1 to 50, you can adjust it a lot more. So you can have like a 25 on the front wing, and that's made a tiny little adjustment. Whereas, you know, 1 to 11 is a. But as I say, the value is exactly the same. It's still a 1 to 11 wing, the same as last year. You just got it in.
Yeah, I can tolerate that as long as they get the rear front wing lower than rear wing on like 2021.
Yeah,
I can live with the 0 to 50.
Yeah, but as I say, the physics are set up that way that you have to have it like that. You can't, you know, I've tried lots of different ways of doing it. I've done a 2020 setup, and it's horrible. It understeers all over the place. It really does. To be honest, 2021 is a lot like 2011. Higher wings are actually better. So you need basically 7-8 wings on pretty much all the circuits on 2021. which is a bit of a backward step, I believe, because everyone hated F1 2011 because that was how you got faster in that game. You actually had to make the wings higher. So the higher the wings, the faster you went, which makes no sense in physics, even though I don't know about physics, but I do know that if you make the wing higher, obviously you should be going slower. But in 2011, you actually went faster if you had a higher wing. Now, of course, that does relate to when you're going around the corners. Obviously, with a higher wing, you've got more grip and more stability. But going down the straights as well, that should slow you down. But no, it didn't. So that's why a lot of people hated 2011, because apart from anything else, the handling was horrible, especially for us controller guys. It's steered like a boat. 2011. I don't know if you remember 2011, but it steered like a boat.
I do.
Yeah, it was like steering through porridge. It really was. It was horrible, and that's what they seem to have done a bit with 2021. They've made the values of the wings a lot higher, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, if I'm doing a,
But yeah,
if
as
I'm,
long as
if
they
I,
get the ratio front to rear
yeah,
right, I'm fine with the 0 to 50 instead of 0 to 11. We
Yeah.
can live with that.
yeah, as long as they go back and reverse it, or should I say, do it how it was in 2020, because that was a lot better. It just didn't make any sense to me. Every time I saw that, because like the default setup in 2021 is, I think, 2 wings, so you've got 5 on the front and 2 on the rear. I just looked at that every single time in the setups, and I'm like, I don't get it. How is that even going to work? It's just no. Anyway, I'm not an aerodynamicist, so perhaps it does work.
On a 5 on 2020, what was the wing ratio? I can't remember because I haven't.
5,
We
I
used
think.
preset.
5.2, I think, is the preset 4, the slightly faster one. I think the balanced one was 6.5. I think something like that. Something like that. It was
on
pretty.
2020.
No, on 2021. I think it was.
No, I'm talking about 2020.
Oh, 2020. The setup 4 was 4 wings, wasn't it? And setup 3, the balance was 6 wings, or 6.5 wings, I think. Maybe 6.5.
And then 5 was.
Sorry, say it again.
And 5 was. What?
Setup 5
One?
was 2.2.
2.2. That's
2.2. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I just made no sense to me. Made no sense.
No.
Where is
And
that
Dom
Canadian?
Dom is now 15 minutes late.
Unbelievable. Time he gets here, I will be going. I guarantee you. Unbelievable. Let me see if anyone else is in the chat. Da, da, da. Oh, we got quite a few. We've got. Scott Barnes says Australian House, I think, done an F1. Ah, yes, Scott. Yes, Melbourne House did 2002 Grand Prix Challenge. That was another studio. Now, Melbourne House, a lot of people won't remember, but I do because I was around back in the 80s. They made Horace Goes Skiing for the ZX Spectrum, which is, look it up on YouTube, okay? It's a great game. It really is. It's really a lot of fun. You might be able to find it on emulation somewhere, but yeah, Horace Goes Skiing. It is exactly what it says. It's a bloke and he goes skiing. He looks a little bit like Sonic the Hedgehog, but he's Horace the Hedgehog. I think he's a hedgehog anyway. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that was back in 1982, I think it was. But yeah, that was a great game. That was done by Melbourne House, and I don't know why they decided to do a Grand Prix game, but they did. Yeah, there you go. Dave, have you heard about F105 online being revived? No, I haven't, Mr. Poochiehead. I haven't, but that would be epic. I've heard a lot of these, especially the PS2, has had a lot of revivals online. I mean, I never actually went online on the PS2. First console I went online with was the PS3, but I have heard that, yeah, There's a lot of revivals online for old PS2 games. People setting up their own private servers, and I understand people are still playing Star Wars Battlefront on PS2 online. That's just amazing. Great to see as well, because as you know, I'm a great supporter of retro games, so I love to see that. I really do. But as I say, I've never actually plugged my PS2 online. Never had it. No, PS3 for me.
And that's basically me as well.
Yeah.
But first console really online, PS3.
He saw a video on YouTube. Hopefully F1 2022 has more options to adjust for controller users. Yeah. 22 needs, I know it's a strange way of saying it, but it needs more options, but it needs less options as well. Because some of those options in 2021 were ridiculous. The amount of things you could adjust was stupid. You just need, adjustments for the controller, but not to the amount that they were giving you, because, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's only a certain amount of buttons on the PS4 controller anyway, so you can never map all those buttons, so it was ridiculous. They need to, but yeah, it does need a bit of tweaking. You're
talking about the button mapping?
Yeah, it just needs tweaking.
You're talking about yeah.
Poochie Ed said he'd like to see sliders for speed sensitivity and dampening. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see, but it's never going to happen. Never going to happen. But this was a thing in the old F1 games. I'd like to see adjustable on the fly, which means as you're going around the circuit, traction control. I think that would be really good, because I used to use that all the time on the old F1 games. You could just press the button and it was on the screen, the left-hand corner or the right-hand corner, one of the corners anyway, okay? And it went from 25, I think it was 50, 75 or 100, yeah? So what I used to do was, down the straights, I would put the traction control down to 25% and then put it back up again to go around the corners. And I just...
Yeah, I do.
Carry on.
Yeah, I do that with Gran Turismo 7 as a reference.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why.
That's one of the menus you can scroll to, the TCS menu.
Exactly, yeah.
In corners, I'll turn it up, and then on the straights, I'll turn it down.
Dial it down, yeah, because you don't need traction when you're going along a straight. Only it's really in the corners. But that was just such a great feature. I don't think... No, that wasn't even in the Codemasters games, the F1 2010s. I'm going back
to
it
in the menu with the...
Yeah,
I'm going... how when you hit circle, and it brings up the fuel map, the ER, whatever, put it in that menu. Make a TCS tab. And just...
Yeah. So you can adjust it that way. But that... Yeah, so I think the last time we saw that was on the PS2, I think. But that was just such a great feature. It really was. And I don't know why they... I think possibly there's a physics issue, because if you notice, you can't adjust the traction control until you get back to the garage and do it in the menus. You can't even adjust the traction control, can you, while you're out on the circuit? Not even if you just pause the game, you can't do it that way. You have to actually be back at the garage. So there must be some kind of physics reason why you can't change it on the fly. It obviously, it does something to alter the game, which only lets you do it when you're back in the garage. But yeah, I'd love to see it come back as a little button you could press, little slider. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
But yeah, even like GT7, they do it on a scale 1 through 6, 1 through 6 or 7, I believe.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I always used to do it on there as well, on GT Sport. Just keep turning the traction on and up and down. Yeah, great. But Scott says Grand Prix Challenge handling was crap. Waving. Yeah, it was, Scott. I quite agree. Yeah, it was. Yeah, on that game, Donald, the car used to wave from left to right even when you're going down the straight. So it drove a lot like me in real life. Formula 1 2001 and 2002 by Sony.
You purposely,
yeah.
There's a difference, Dave. You purposely try to make your car 5 wide.
Exactly. Mr. Poochiehead says launch control too. Yeah, I agree. I did love launch control. Sadly, that was only in a couple of the games. I think it was 2003 and 2004. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, they Donald, they had a launch control feature where you had to hold the button down, and then as soon as the lights went out, you released the button quickly, and it literally gave you like a power launch off the line. It was actually in real F1 as well, so it wasn't a fantasy thing that they invented. It was actually in there, and yeah, it would give you a sort of a smooth sort of push off the line, and I used to love that as well. That was great. Poochie Ed says even F106 had TC on the fly. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I remember that. And I used to love that. I'd say I used to love that. Especially at Monaco, you could just, switch it right, dial it right down to go down the, the start and finish line, and then dial it, of course, I used to dial it back up to 100 and then just leave it going around the rest of Monaco because you don't need to turn it down. Maybe in the tunnel section you can turn it down a little bit. But yeah, I just used to love the adjustable traction control, and I just never got used to it not being there anymore. So yeah.
Like where our league race is at this week, that would be real helpful.
It would.
Spain, like.
And the funny thing is, Donald, yeah, I used to be a beta tester for these F1 games when it was Codemasters. Once EA took over, I decided to call it a day. I didn't want to test it for them. But I used to be a beta tester, and every single year, yeah, I used to test it for about a fortnight, and then I'd write out a big, long list of my faults. It was about, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages, something like that, of my faults on the game and, things that they could improve. And I did this for about 5 of the games. I didn't do 2015. I did 16, 17, 18, I think 19. So I might have done 4 of them. I'm not quite sure. But every single time I took the time and wrote out this big essay about improvements. And every single time, yeah, I put on there, please bring back adjustable traction control. They never listened to me, Donald. They never listened to me.
That would be a great feature.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the brake adjustments, and we got we got all that. Like,
but no adjustable traction control. I just, stupid. Absolutely. I mean, obviously we haven't got traction control in real life. But, it's a game, isn't it? It's not real life. It's a game. So you've got to have a few concessions to, things like that. Because if you had no traction control in the game, people who weren't very good, you got little kids or things like that, they wouldn't bother playing it, would they? If there was no traction control, because they just get fed up with it, wouldn't they? Because they just be spinning.
You would wreck.
Yeah, they just
it's so easy to spin.
Exactly, they'd just be spinning everywhere. Yeah, so you've got to have traction control in the game. It's got to, they keep saying every year it's a sim. It's not a sim. It's nowhere near a sim. It is nowhere near a sim. Okay, so you've got to have traction control to appeal to.
A sim would be iRacing.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to appeal to all levels.
And shit in iRacing.
Yeah, you've got to appeal to all levels. Poochiehead says, I map TC and ABS to the directional buttons. Yeah, funny you say that, Mr. Poochiehead. I think I used to do the same. Yeah, I say you just used to go up or down for whatever one you wanted. Everyone getting excited about manual pit stops when F1 2001 and F1 506 had even better pit stops. Yes, they did. There was one of the EA games, though, which, oh my God, I almost threw that out the window because that had a manual pit stop feature, and you had to be so precise. It was unbelievable, really. Otherwise, you'd end up with.
Are you talking about driving down pit road?
Yeah, and you had to do it all yourself. You had to press the button. So as you came in, you had to press a button to reduce your speed. Then you had to press another button to actually drive into the pit. It all did it automatically if you didn't do it, but your time slowed down horribly if you didn't do it in the right way. So if you didn't get the car slowed down in time, it had like 3 seconds to your time. And sometimes I used to do that, and literally I'd end up with a 45-second pit stop because it's horrendous. And the worst thing about that game was, I think it was 2001, I can't quite remember, is you had to go through, they did this sort of GT license test thing, and you had to do that stop as one of the license tests before you could even play the game. And it used to drive me mad because I could never get it. Because everything has to be done.
Would you add that again?
Yeah. It was just ridiculous, but yeah.
Would you want that back in the game?
Not to not to that level of difficulty. No. I mean, I always had the pit stops on automatic. I never have to worry about pit lane speeding or anything like that. Because
if you have that manual, don't you have to like turn on the pit limiter and
yes,
like hit a button for the pit limiter?
You have to turn on the pit limiter. You have to land precisely and stop precisely in your box. Otherwise, you can overshoot. And then you see the mechanics. They sort of step back a little bit and then come back in. So there's a slight delay, a pause before they get your stop done. And then as you come out of the pits, you've got to make sure you don't go over the speed limit before you reach the line. Otherwise, you will get a penalty. Now, in a league racing situation, that's just too much for me to think about, and I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, doesn't Joe and them do that manual shit?
I don't know. I don't think they do, actually. I think they have it on automatic as well, because it is too much to think about if you're in like a league pressure situation. You really don't need that. But for doing it offline in an actual career mode scenario, I'd love to do that. Yeah, I think that would be a great feature. Great feature. Scott says, yeah, launch control F1 2002 and 2003. Those Renault starts, though, in real... Yeah, those Renault starts, which we won't go into, but little bit of legality involved there, I do believe.
Yeah, I'll be out. Okay.
Is it time to go, Donald?
No.
Oh, okay. F106.
My uncle just came in and told me
Sorry?
something. I said no, my uncle just came in and told me something. So
Bushyhead says F106 had a fully manual formation lap. So remember turning down the TC to warm up the rear. Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. A full formation lap. None of this Codemasters crap where the damage is off. That's one thing. The damage is off in the Codemasters formation lap, and of course you can't really cause an accident, or if you do, you just get shunted to the back of the grid and everyone goes past and then you form up normally, don't you? But no, this was a proper formation lap. You had to be really careful, and you could turn down the traction control and then you could light up the rear. You could stop and then light up the rear tyres to warm up your rear tyres. That was great. Glad you mentioned that, Mr. Poochiehead, because I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I turn it off. I have formation lap off in the new F1.
Yeah.
Shit just takes too long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I'm doing career modes, I have to have it switched off because, as you say, it adds another lap to the race, and I'm trying to get it done anyway, so I don't want to add another one to it. Was it 2001? F106 had championships and had commentary on formation lap 2 like F122, if I remember right. Yeah, sure, quite right. Now, hang on a minute, because I got a message on Facebook from the Dusty Bin. So he must be watching the stream right now. So let's have this message from Mr. Dusty Bin. He says, I don't see the point of adjustable traction control. Once you launch out of the corner, it's not going to matter where it's set. Dialing it down the straights where the chance to spin your tyres are gone makes no difference to your top speed. And it's not like you're going to dial it down in the middle of a corner, because at that point you wouldn't have set it lower from the start and keep it there. Interesting, Mr. Bin. Interesting. But I can tell you on good authority that it did used to make a difference on the older games. It may not do it nowadays, but in the older games it did used to make a difference, especially going down the straights. You did end up going...
And every game I played that has that, it made a difference. If you turn it off as soon as you exit the corner, you will get a faster straight line speed.
Yeah. Now, of course, a lot of that could have been due to the physics of the PS2, physics, basically. I don't know. Could have been to do with that. But, yeah, it definitely did make...
I'll take Gran Turismo, for example. Same thing. Like,
yeah.
I experienced with it leaving it on, like, TCS2 and then turning it completely off. If you turn it to 0, exit a corner, you get a faster straight line speed. I mean, yeah, completely different game, but every game I played with that feature, it's made a difference. Going back to Dusty's question or statement.
Exactly. Jamie, good evening. You've joined me. Oh, hang on. Is Jamie with us? Give us a.
Oh, sorry.
Were you falling asleep? We're supposed to be having Plant Pot here right now, and Dominic, Orlando, but they're not here
Dominic was here at 5 o'clock.
for about
He
a
said
second.
he'd be back in 5 minutes. That would have been 5:07 p.m. It is now 5:38 p.m.
I did see Dom at first when he first started.
And he's at Joe's house. So who?
So
So-
he's in bed
Anyway,
getting bummed.
congratulations, Jamie. I'm just about to go. No, I'm all right. I'm all right for another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes.
Okie dokie.
So, how you been doing?
I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Wasn't doing all right last night. Did you get that weather?
I did. I was watching it. It was good.
It might be good for you. It wasn't good for me.
Fuck. You still ain't got that fucking roof sorted
No.
out, have you?
I have not. Unbelievable. How slow can a council be? Very slow. They're fobbing me off, Jamie. Fobbing me off.
You need to get on them.
I have, mate. I've been on them. I sent them a message about a week ago, and they said, "Oh, you just got to wait. It's still going through. Still going through."
Dear.
November,
So,
Jamie, is when I started sorting that out. November.
Indeed.
so Jamie, since you joined in the middle of what we were talking about, what is your opinion of, like, just say if F1 were to put this feature, adjustable traction control while on track, like Gran Turismo has, or F1 did back in the day?
I like it on Gran Turismo because you can adjust it per track, and each car is very different.
Right.
So that's what I do.
And it does make a difference on straight line speed, having it just say 1 or 2 to turn it, and then switching it back to 0 on corner exit
Yeah,
after you start to throttle up.
yeah, I like it on, like, when I play GT Sport, I use it. I don't know about F1. I never used. I don't know. Has there been an F1 game with it on?
Only the old PS2 games, Jamie. None of the Codemasters games have ever had adjustable traction control. No.
Was it what was it? Bloody, the one that EA made? What, the old one that EA
No,
made?
it would have been the Sony ones, but it would have been like F104, F103, something like that. They would have been the ones with the adjustable traction control on them.
I vaguely remember it, but
Yeah,
I
on
don't think
on
I
the
liked it.
PS2, on the PS2.
Yeah, I can picture the box of the games, but to me they look like EA games for some reason.
Yeah, well, EA did a few around about that time as well, but yeah, because they both competed with each other. You had EA and Studio Liverpool, both doing exactly the same game in exactly the same year. But yeah, that was fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I only played the EA one that year,
Yeah,
but they were all shit anyway. But
they were all shit. Yeah,
yeah, no, I must have played one of them at one point. Anyway, yeah, it'd be a crap idea. There's enough.
So you agree with Dusty?
There's enough to do already. Like, do you know what I
True.
mean? It's like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I already, like, so, because I do two things that none of yous know about. No.
no. Do you? Does one of the
Yeah.
two involve your right hand?
Sort of, yeah, my thumb, yeah. Or
Wow,
finger,
that's
yeah.
interesting. I've never done that myself. Not during a league race. I can't anyway because I had to change gear.
Yeah, see, I have automatic gears, and I adjust my fuel, and there's
Oh, Dave adjusted his fuel too. That's why he's always out halfway through the race.
Yeah, I adjust it. I just put it on rich until it's 4 laps down at the end, and then just go, oh balls, I've run out of fuel. That's my fuel adjustment.
yeah, and there's another thing that I adjust as well. But
Oh, is it a secret?
it's my secret.
Oh, You heard it here first. Well, you didn't because he's not going to tell us. But there you go.
It's quite simple, really, but I like the fact that I'm pretty sure I'm the only person who does it, and it's actually helped me quite a lot.
You're intriguing me now. Definitely intriguing me. Anyway, we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Then it can be our secret.
Guess where I'm working next week, Dave?
Oh, is it Chatham?
I'm working at Chatham next week.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh,
I do
God.
feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry for me.
Unbelievable.
If you didn't sleep all day, I'd come up and have a cup of tea.
I know. There you go. What can you do?
You're awake all night and asleep all day.
I know. What can you do?
Yeah, I've got all the lovely places next week. Gravesend, Strood,
Ah, the classic
then Strood, then Strood
Gravesend.
again. Yeah, then Chatham again.
You know,
Oh,
I used to go to Gravesend once a week. There used to be, it's probably gone now because I haven't been there for donkey's years, but there used to be like a little park outside of this shopping centre. I used to go and have a look in the park, and there used to be like little ducks or whatever. I used to go to it, and I used to go in the shopping centre. Is it still there?
I know where you're talking about, but I
Yeah.
haven't been there
Yeah.
in fucking years.
Yeah,
But my nan and granddad used to take me there about 20 years ago.
that's it.
Probably
That's
not.
it.
Longer than 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I would have been 14. Fucking hell. Yeah, longer than 20 years ago. But I know where you mean, because there's like two centre bits, isn't there? But
yeah, that's it.
I know the one you mean. My shoulder's having a spasm right now.
Oh dear.
My shoulder issue is back.
Oh no, bugger.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, it hurts.
How long's it come back?
It's been like for like the last couple of weeks now.
Oh, a couple of weeks.
And then I went to the doctors yesterday and I've got some nerve tablet things.
Oh yeah. Do they work?
I haven't taken them yet because the last time I took them, they fucked me up.
I'm with you. Yep. The cure is always worse than the problem in most instances.
Too bad we can't find a cure for Dom.
No, there's no cure for Dom, unfortunately. He's a lost cause. Completely lost cause. You're never going to cure Dom.
It's now been 40 minutes. He was supposed to come back.
I know. I don't know where he's... I'll tell you what. He probably went into the next room because... I'll tell you where he was, Jamie. It looks like Joe's basically put him in his storage cupboard. Okay? He's in this room full of old steering wheels. There's a couple of old televisions on the floor as well. So he's obviously, that's what he uses for storage. And he's thought, we'll put Dom in there. Because, you know, he's Canadian. He doesn't care. We'll just tuck him in there. And that's where he is.
Garage.
But I woke him up and he said, oh, I'll just go and see what Joe's doing. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Oh, no. He said he had to put on a... You're missing a second. He said he had to put on a pair of pants first.
That's true.
And then he's going to see what Joe's doing.
Yeah.
And then he said, be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Granted, this was 5:01 when he said that. I said, we'll give him till 5:07.
He probably got up, opened the door, saw Joe was asleep, shut the door again, came back in, and he's gone back on the sofa and he's fallen asleep again. Guarantee you. That's what's happened. Fallen asleep again. Unbelievable.
They don't do anything when they're together.
I know.
Don't
It's
drive
ridiculous. They just play with each other. That's all they do.
Fucking Boston.
But anyway, Dave, I'm going to have to go.
Okay,
they go
mate.
to
Thank you
sleep.
very much for being on Hookster Talks. I will catch you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, yep. See you. You won't be there Monday, right, Jamie?
No, I missed this Monday, didn't I? Did I race this Monday or did I miss it?
Yeah, you did race at France.
Oh, yeah. Then I
Yes,
won't
you
do that
did.
Monday.
Yes, I remember.
Because remember, you were chasing me down, and you
I
asked
can't
like you
remember
couldn't
either,
make your
Jamie.
mediums last, so you had to pit again.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, because actually I was doing.
And you went wet, and you decided to take the scenic route and turn one after your pit stop.
No, that was before my pit stop because I only had 70% tyre. No, I only had like 20% tyre left.
So. No, it was
My
after your first stop because I got around you on hard when you made that mistake. And then you pitted a few laps later for a second time. Because you went soft, medium, medium.
Oh, that's because I was trying to catch Josh and smash him into the corner. Yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to catch Josh.
But anyway, guys, I'll see you Monday, Dave.
Thank you. Yes, see you Monday.
Later, Jamie.
Thank
Talk
you,
to
Dom.
later.
See you later.
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 So yeah, so he said, this is Dom. He said, "Oh, I'm really tired because I've been driving for the last 8 hours." I think he's lying. Surely it can't take 8 hours to get to America from Canada. I mean, it's right next door, isn't it? How can it take 8 hours? I mean, I know he's in a Honda Civic, which seriously impedes his progress. I mean, how fast can they really go? 46 miles an hour, top speed?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to imagine Dom actually driving. I reckon he just like sits there with his chin on the steering wheel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he claims it takes him 8 hours to get. It's 20 minutes and the job's done, isn't it? Surely it's right next door to each other. 8 hours. I can't.
Well, I roughly know where Dom lives and I know where Joe lives. So in a minute I'll
Okay.
map it.
Anyway, looks like the Canadian's not going to turn up.
What a scumbag.
What a scumbag. And unfortunately, we've almost run out of time as well.
You got to go and eat some dinner, have you?
I've got to go and eat some dinner, yeah. So, there you go. We were going to have a fantastic show tonight, Jamie. We could have had the plant pot. We could have had the Orlando Canadian here. And I rang Nick as well. I was gonna get all of you in here, and I was gonna ring Nick live to see if he answered. Because I tell you, if that ever happens, Joseph said it'll just blow off his shoulders, won't it? If Nick actually answers, he'll explode, won't he? He'll be gone. He won't be able to handle it. So I was gonna try all that, and it's gonna be great. But once again, Canada has failed.
Well,
Do you know, a few weeks ago, he was really excited when I said, well, I think I might have a co-host on these Hookster Talks. And he went, oh, yeah. And I went, if you like to be my co-host, I says, and then I can cut to you for like first half an hour or whatever. I says, and then we'll go to like the general chat and talk to the other lads. And he was like, yeah. He's only ever done it once. Every time I ring him, he don't answer. What kind of a co-host is that? Just because I don't pay him anything, he's like, oh, I ain't doing it no more. Yeah, once he's done it, just once. Unbelievable.
It's hardly Ant and Deck, is it?
It's not. It's very much not Ant and Deck. Oh God.
Oh dear. Well, I think what would be a good idea though, Dave, is have a word with Nick before you ring him, and then he might make some time.
Yeah, I should do that because I do it on the fly every week. Yeah, I should contact him and say, because what I might have to do is I might have to do a private call on him and pre-record it when he's available, and then I'll.
Well, yeah, because I don't think he sometimes he doesn't finish he don't finish work till probably about the time that you're starting.
Yeah.
And then he has to drive. He has to fucking drive back in all that LA stupid traffic that you always see on
traffic,
that those big traffic jams you always see on American news.
Oh yeah.
He has to
yeah.
He drives back in one of them for about 5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Even though it's only about a 30-minute journey,
yeah,
it takes him 5 hours to get home.
Oh God. So yeah, I might do that. I might contact him because it'll come out exactly the same as one of these Hookster Talks, and it'll just be like pre-recorded. It'll be exactly the same apart from that. So I might suggest that and see if I can do it some other time and see if we can get him on there, because I just basically want Joe's head to explode when he hears his voice, because it will do. He'll just go like that old horror film. Or was it Scanners when the head explodes? that'll be Joe.
You could get it pre-recorded and then just constantly send it to Joe via various social
that would be
media.
good.
Send it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
He would not be able to handle it. I know he wouldn't. He'd just be gone because he's never heard his voice.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
Me too. Yeah, I'll sort it out and see if I can get him, as I say, at some other time. Maybe his morning would be like my afternoon, so I might be able to do it then. So here we go.
Yeah, that'd be better, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Or even like you're always up at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning. Do it then.
Yeah, that's true.
To him, that'd be when he's usually
about
indoors.
Yeah. Yep, I'll give it a try. I will get him on the show. Don't worry, because everyone wants him on the show. Because as I say, he's going to be fascinating. Because I say he's went karting, didn't he, with Max Verstappen and the Lance Stroll? So it'd be a fascinating little talk, I think.
Yeah, he's raced against loads of people. George Russell,
yeah, he's the real deal. So
loads of guys from IndyCar and that. And
a bigger bonus, he's free. Unlike Arava, who I tried to get on the show, and he's just wouldn't have it. Jamie wouldn't have it, mate. Read my email, no reply.
Yeah, but until you mentioned him not that long ago, I didn't even know who he was, and now I know who he is. I wish I didn't know who he was.
That's funny you say that, because a lot of people feel that way as well.
The guy who gets overexcited about a 20-second montage of a new.
I know. Yeah.
A new game.
As I said, his girlfriend must be well happy if he can make 10 minutes out of 30 seconds. Anyway, on that note, I'd just like to say thank you very much, Jamie, for joining us tonight on Hookster Talks.
It's all right.
You have been awesome as always, and thanks to Donald, and a sort of thank you to Dominic Orlando, even though he was only on for about a minute, and now he's gone, and he hasn't come back again. So, I don't know. Thanks, mate. Great. Loving your work. Okay, thank you very much, Jamie. I will catch you again soon. See you later. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Okay, that was Hookster Talks. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. You've been awesome as always. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We have, of course, had Mr. Scott Barnes. We had Poochie Head. We've had lots. We've had Wheel F1. They're just scrolling up now. JW97, of course, was in there as well. I think that was everybody. Poochie Head, I think I said. Yeah, I did say. Oh, and Just JMO was in there, of course. Don't forget that. Oh, God, I'll get lots of complaints if I don't forget that. We've got another message right at the bottom. I'll just read that. Was it F1 2001 that got into my head, said Scott Barnes. Quite possibly. It was a great game. Really was. I loved it. Poochie Ed says F106 and Championship Edition had commentary on Formation Lap 2 like F122, if I remember right. Yes, it did. Love the commentary as well. They need to bring that back. Live commentary, that's what we need. None of this Jeff going, oh, please be careful into Sandevort. You're up amongst the pack and you're right at the back. Which is usually what happens to me at Monaco. Anyway. Thank you, everyone, and I apologise in advance for it not being as spectacular as it would have been had the Canadian joined and the plant pot, and we'd have got Nick on as well. It would have been an extravaganza of epidemic proportions, but unfortunately, none of that happened, so it didn't happen. No, so once again, I failed. I'm just never going to be as good as Arava at this rate. That's it. Just get your bear. Say bye-bye to everyone. TB. Oh, my little bear. My little fluffy bear. Look at him. Oh, he's lovely. Mwah. At least my bear loves me. At least my bear loves me. Oh. 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 Okay, that's it for me. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight for another Hookster Talks. Enjoy the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm sure you won't. I'm sure no one will because it'll be boring and crap. But enjoy it anyway. And I'll be back for the aftermath of that possibly next Thursday. So thank you, everyone. And good night.